Hello, welcome to Doctor Who Time and Space.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So, welcome to you. Let's move the mic a bit nearer. Here we go.
Okay, so today it is Doctor Who Time and Space. I'm Lewis Moon.
And it's our first proper podcast of 2015.
I know, last week we did a best of 2014 thing. I can't call anything 2014 now. Just call it 2015.
I'm still writing 2014 on everything, just because I keep forgetting. What have we got on this week's show?
We've got the most important, maybe not the best, but most important episode of each Doctor, excluding War Doctor, and Rowan Atkinson Doctor, and Richard E. Grant Doctor, and Mark Gatiss Doctor, and every Doctor.
Yeah.
David Walliams Doctor.
Peter Cushing Doctor.
Yeah. Every Doctor that is non-canon.
So the proper stuff.
The proper the canon things.
Okay, and so how is it? As well as the pivotal ones, we'll also mention our favourites.
Yeah.
For each one, because we can. We'll also have news.
We'll have the best of. We'll have the new Who Year's resolutions for 2015.
And we'll be talking a little bit about what's going on the Mr. Lewis Moon channel.
Oh, and also we might talk, if we have time, we'll talk about Doctor Who magazine.
Okay, I'll tell you the other thing we should be doing today.
What?
We should be pressing the button on the randomizer.
Do.
So let's kick off with the news, shall we?
Yes. Okay. Let's find the first bit. Wait a minute. Oh wait, no. Oh, let's do this anyway.
So the news has gone wrong straight away.
Yeah, the news has gone wrong straight away. I'll do that in a minute, but first I'll start off with a poll, I think.
Okay.
This is, we're doing it on a new device for the new year.
Yeah.
So it's a brand new device. Over the next couple of podcasts, we'll be doing a Best of 2014 awards.
Okay.
Lead actor.
Okay. So who are our, it's a silly thing to ask really, but who are our nominees?
Peter Capaldi as the Doctor. And Jenna Coleman as Clara Oswald.
Okay.
Who do you say is your favourite?
I would vote for Capaldi just because he's a Doctor and he's a great one. What about you? What are you going to go for?
Capaldi.
I mean, I think it's quite interesting, isn't it, how the companion has actually reached the level of lead character.
I know. Sometimes.
I think historically that may not have been the case.
No, because what do you think of Clara's character developing?
I personally really like it, and I think it's good to have strong female characters in the role, particularly as there's been a lot of talk about one day whether or not the Doctor will regenerate as a female character. But I think as long as you give strong female characters in there, it's not necessary. Excuse me. And I think over the years, the companions have got a lot stronger, haven't they?
Yeah, I know. Trying to load something, but it won't work. I
think in the old days, the companions were very much, I'm scared, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
And that was what you got from them. So what were you trying to load?
Also, we've got a Miss Lewis Moon Adventures poll.
Okay.
Which says, who is your best lead actor? Is it the Doctor Who lead actor, Peter Capaldi, or the MLMA lead actor, Paul McGann?
Are we allowed to vote for it or
yes, not? We're allowed.
Yeah. Oh, I think you might have accidentally turned the device off. Pass it a sec.
It just turned off.
Yeah, there's an off button on the bottom, and I think you pressed it down, so it turned it off.
Oh.
Okay,
So, Paul McGann
or Peter Capaldi. I think I would. It's a tough one, I think. And although he's only just introduced into the Mr. Lewis Moon Adventures, I would suggest probably Peter Capaldi.
Even though he's been in Doctor Who and the Mr. Lewis Moon Adventures, his Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd go for him. But maybe that's because we're obviously filming the new series at the moment. So when you're filming the new series, you become quite attached to them, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, let's see if we can find back to where we were at.
We're on Doctor TV.
Okay. Doctor Who TV, which is always worth going to for your Who news. So
I won't lean it down.
Okay, so you can hold it that way round, you'll be all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
so that was one poll.
Next up, we are going to come with the news. We've got 2 weeks of news, if you think about it, because we didn't do it the week before.
Oh no, we
so
didn't.
We've got a few pieces of news on Series 9.
Yeah.
Now we know that this week they started filming.
Yeah.
Series 9, and we only surprisingly know very little.
Yeah.
But we've had Paul Kaye cast in the series.
Okay.
Comedian and actor Paul Kaye has been cast in Series 9 of Doctor Who.
Okay.
Kaye's more recent TV work includes Game of Thrones, Ripper Street, and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. He will play a character called Prentice in a Block 1 episode, which means episodes 1 and 2, I think. Filming on Series 9 began this week.
It's interesting that because, well, firstly, I mean, I was trying to work out who he was because I'm rubbish at actors and things, but I remember him as Dennis Pennis when he first started, where he would actually interview people and take the mickey out of them. But the other interesting thing you said there, when you were saying about other things he's been in, you mentioned Ripper Street, which I'm watching at the moment, but I don't actually remember him being in that. So, but I'm only working my way through the first series at the moment, so maybe that's why. Either that, it's just that I'm not very observant. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see what that's like, won't it?
So, what do we know about Series 9 so far? Well, we've got Catherine Tregenna, who's a Torchwood writer, writing an episode. We've got Daniel O'Hara directing an episode, which I don't think we said about, so we'll talk about that later. We know that Paul Kaye is going to be in Series 9, and now they've begun filming. Jenna Coleman is going to join Peter Capaldi in the first series. I'm like an information box.
You are.
Yeah.
I wonder whether, I mean, last time we started seeing some filming quite early on, and I wonder if perhaps that was because there were some outside shots, whereas perhaps this first episode is predominantly being filmed indoors.
It's being filmed in Cardiff. So.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was being done actually in the studio, because there was quite a lot of studio work last time, wasn't there, rather than on location. So maybe the ones that they're filming first are predominantly in the studio. Of course, the other sort of side of it is it doesn't necessarily mean that they are recording them or filming them in the same order as what they're written.
Maybe episode 2 is being recorded.
Could be, yeah.
Because Prentice, does that mean Magician's Apprentice? So Russell T Davies on New Who's 10th anniversary, the man who brought back Doctor Who almost a decade ago, which will be having a series of polls over the next few months, which we'll talk about some more at the end of the show to celebrate it. But Russell T Davies has spoken about whether he knows any plans for the 10th anniversary. Davies told the Radio Times, "Someone from the BBC's branding team sent me a lovely email saying, 'Do you want to do something?' I don't know what they imagined. A talk or a conversation, perhaps? I just said no, to be honest. A programme can't have its 50th and then have its 10th. I think that's just confusing. It's marvellous and glorious. Let it carry on." I don't think there is going to be anything for the 10th. They haven't planned anything, I don't think.
No, I think what he said is quite sensible, really, isn't it? In that, as you say, if there was so much done to hype up the 50th, then a couple of years later, suddenly hyping up at the 10th, probably be a bit odd. It'd be nice if there was some sort of reference to it, but maybe it should.
Maybe they should do like the first trailer for Series A on March the 26th. Yeah, they could do the first teaser trailer on March the 26th.
Yeah, you could do that.
That'd be quite good.
Or, another thing they could do is perhaps just show some of the, perhaps one story per each of the new Doctors or something like that on the telly. Good. Although I guess they regularly show repeats of them anyway, don't they? But
they could show ones that they don't usually show.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Any more news, Sarah?
Yes,
probably quite a bit, isn't there? Probably 2 weeks worth.
Yeah, let's go back to our best 2014 series. I need to load up the Miss Lois Moon site again.
Okay. This is where it all went horribly wrong last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So we've
what do you think about the 10th anniversary? Can you believe that it was 10 years ago? And did you watch it when it was first on?
I didn't watch it, to be honest, because I remember it being on. In fact, actually, I think I saw it on. I think it might have been on in the background, but at that point, I wasn't really too interested in it, to be honest.
You were as a child.
I was as a child, yeah. And then I saw Christopher Eccleston, and I thought, hey, he's not like Tom Baker at all. I'm not interested. No. And I think that was my thoughts on it. It's only really since you've been born and you've got into it that I've sort of really gone back and revisited it all.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I probably wouldn't have watched any of them. So there we have it. There'd be no podcast.
No podcast now.
No.
Or I'd be doing it with my mum.
Yeah. Can you imagine what that'd be like? You wouldn't get a word in, would you?
No. Well, yes, I would actually. On the Doctor Who podcast, you'd just be talking about cleaning. But yeah, okay. Okay. So another best of 2014 poll is Michelle Gomez is best recurring actor.
Okay.
Is it Michelle Gomez as Missy, Samuel Anderson as Danny Pink, Neve McIntosh as Vastra, Catherine Stewart as Jenny Flint, Dan Starkey as Drax, Chris Addison as Seb, Ellis George as Courtney Woods, Gemma Redgrave as Kate Stewart, or Ingrid Oliver as Osgood?
I would go for Missy, I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? You agree on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's quite a tough one. I mean, there's some really good characters in there, isn't there? But I think in that particular one, I think she shines out, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so best companion is number 2 of 2014 in MLMA.
Okay. Okay, who do we have?
Okay, so we have Lily Eden and Clara Oswald.
Okay. It's got to be Lily Eden, isn't it?
Lily Eden.
It's got to be.
Why is it Lily Eden?
Because we haven't really seen too much of the other one yet.
What, of Clara Oswald?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Really.
Okay.
No, I mean it's actually Clara Oswald.
Oh, you mean?
Oh,
I'm with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you prefer?
Oh, in that case, it becomes a tougher one, doesn't it? No, I'm still going to stick with Lily.
Yeah. I've already voted anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So okay, so it was William Hartnell's birthday this week.
Was it? Happy birthday, Bill.
Let's look.
Do we know when the what date? Sorry, going back a little bit. What's your fanning around trying to find the right page. Do we know what date the 10th anniversary would be?
March the 26th.
Are we going to be doing a special a special show?
What the episode?
Yeah.
What's this? It's not a Saturday, I don't think.
No, but I mean the following Saturday, or the preceding one. Are we going to be doing a 10th anniversary special?
Yeah, we might.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just going to look at the date.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 26th. It's the Thursday.
Thursday, is it? So we could perhaps do one on the Saturday, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
Special
good.
episode.
Sorry, yeah, back to your news. Back to the news.
So the 5. Okay, we've got another series. Part 1 of the series. The 5 greatest strengths of Series 8. So,
Okay.
5. The masterful Missy. So what do you think of Missy?
I think it was a good little twist. I think we'd sort of guessed it.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I think that's probably a bit of a lie. I don't think we guessed it as such. I think we read somebody that guessed it and therefore thought, I like what they say. I think that's quite a good theory. I don't necessarily know whether we would have thought of it ourselves.
No, probably wouldn't.
But no, it was really good, wasn't it? And it made for a great moment when you actually found out what it was. We watched that teaser, didn't we? And it had that sort of bit of a speech outside St Paul's Cathedral when it took it to just before the moment when she announced who she was.
Yeah.
Just to sort of keep you wanting a little bit more. Yeah.
It said, I'm Missy. Who's Missy? Oh, come on, keep up. And then it stopped.
Yeah.
The trailer.
That's right, yeah. That was really clever, wasn't it?
I know.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. I thought they were going to spoil who Missy was.
Yeah, I know you were actually
hiding
in your bedroom hiding, weren't you? With
yes,
your
I
hands in your
was.
ears?
And you had to watch it to
did,
check. I didn't want to spoil it.
Nah.
But then you would have got spoiled.
It would
You'd
have
be
been
tempted
spoiled.
to tell me.
I wouldn't have told you.
So there's better supporting characters as number 4. What do you think of this year's supporting characters?
I think they were very strong, actually. I think.
Yeah.
I think even down to some. I mean, perhaps we'll get onto some of them when we get back to the polls in a minute. But when you get to people like Journey Blue, was it?
Journey Blue.
Journey Blue, yeah. I mean, they sort of built them up far more, didn't they? They were far more
Lots
exciting.
of people liked. In one of the polls, lots of people liked Shauna.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, a lot of people.
Now my mum hates Shauna,
Yeah.
but I don't mind her.
No, I think she was good. A lot of people seem to think that she.
I don't
possibly
like
may
the
come back.
dancing scene though.
I like
That's the only bit in Last Christmas that I didn't like.
See, I thought that was quite funny.
The only bit I didn't really like. I
Yeah.
thought it was a bit silly.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. It's Christmas. You're meant to be silly.
No, I know,
That's why
but
you wear.
I was watching it on Boxing Day.
Well, that's why then.
The depressing time.
That's why then.
Yeah, Boxing Day,
You meant
not
to-
Christmas Day.
You're meant to be watching it with a silly hat on your head and things, and then the comedy dancing all makes sense.
But I didn't understand.
Right. What was number 3?
3 is Clara's development.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of Clara's development over Series 8?
Again, I would say I think they worked it really well. Actually, I think there was times possibly where she would change a bit too quickly on things. In that 1 minute she'd be hating the Doctor, then she'd like him, blah blah blah. But I don't know. Maybe that's just a woman thing.
Anything else to say?
No, I don't think so. I tend to
Okay.
agree with that. It's there.
2, the 12th Doctor.
12th Doctor. Yay. We
One
love
of
him,
the
don't we?
best Doctors.
One of the best. Second only to the great Baker.
I know.
Tom, that is. In my eyes.
But in Series 9, can he beat him?
Well, it'd be interesting to
We've
see.
heard
won't it?
rumours that they are going to make it more like the last couple of eras, but I want it to stay the same.
Yeah.
Which is number 1, the darker tones and themes. Lots of people liked that, but lots of people didn't as well. But I
think
liked it.
I think that's probably the thing, isn't it?
That's what improved the stories.
Yeah, I tend to agree. But it definitely was darker, and it definitely would have been.
Like the Dark Water one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing about it, I think, is the stories were quite. Well, I don't know whether they were any more complex than what they had been under. I think since Stephen Moffat's taken over, there's been a lot of complexity, because I mean, there's been a lot more around the whole story arcs and things, which perhaps you didn't have in Russell T Davies's stories to the same extent. But I think the other sort of side of it as well. I mean, if you go back to some of the classic stories, they had very complicated storylines. So I don't think even the point about it being scary. Well, let's face it, the whole thing with it, you go take it back to the very first episodes, you had like children hiding behind the sofa because of the Daleks. So I think it's always been like that.
Yeah, it's always been quite scary. And I mean, that's what Doctor Who's meant to be. That's what you tune in for.
That's right. I mean, in many ways, I think when it first came back with Christopher Eccleston, and I think basically the Russell T Davies period, I think possibly they dumbed it down a little bit in many respects and made it more family friendly than perhaps it had been, certainly when it was originally out.
Yeah.
I think the Matt Smith episodes had a slightly darker edge to them. I think that they weren't as dark as the Peter Capaldi ones. Definitely not.
I watched Listen yesterday again.
It's still the best, I think, personally. The best
One
episode.
of the best. Yeah.
Any more news?
5 greatest weaknesses of Series 8. So let's see the other view.
Okay. Is it written by the same person, by the way? Or
I think so.
That's quite good, isn't it? So what do they think were the weaknesses?
Too much of Clara's personal life. Now, I disagree on that one, because I quite liked it.
I like that as well.
I mean, it shows a different touch, not just all that Rings of Akateni stuff.
Yeah.
You need a bit of Earth stuff sometimes, and I quite like it when it's a mixture of like alien and earthy.
I think as well, a lot of people moaned in the first series when Clara was in it, was that you didn't get to know enough about her and that there wasn't enough really building a character up. So I think it's then very difficult to criticise when you do build the character up.
Yeah.
But I guess if you look at that episode, The Caretaker, that was a really good example to me of an episode that some people really loved and some people really didn't like.
I know.
And I think that was because a lot of it was around the whole relationship issue.
Yeah.
And therefore, if people didn't like that sort of side of the story, they weren't going to enjoy that episode. What do you think of that? With a mouthful of juice.
I do think that. Yeah, I agree. I really do agree.
So what's next then?
4 pacing issues.
Okay.
So they found that sometimes they're saying here that the endings of some of the episodes are quite rushed. I sometimes feel when I watch in series 5, what was it? Series 7, you kept saying it was rushed, and it was. This series not so much, but I feel the only bit I feel was rushed was the end of Into the Dalek, right at the end.
Yeah.
I only feel that bit was rushed. That's the only bit in the series.
The funny thing about it is, personally, I didn't actually think that the episodes felt rushed at all, and yet, as you rightly said, I constantly said it in the previous series.
Yeah.
I felt they were quite well paced this time. I had no problems with that this series. Series 7, I definitely did. Series 7, a lot of them felt rushed. It felt like they were trying to cram too much in. Probably no more than the previous Christmas one, Time of the Doctor, which could have been a movie.
I don't think Day of the Doctor was rushed.
No, it wasn't. No,
but I think Time of the Doctor, I don't think they could have done it movie length because of the 50th anniversary, and that would A, not make it as iconic, and B, they wouldn't have time to film all that.
Yeah.
And read through and everything. By that time, they were read throughing Series 8 and writing Series 8.
That's right, but I think there was a lot going on in it, and I think they would have been better off appreciating the timing issue. I think they would have been better off doing it as a two-parter.
Yeah.
Perhaps Christmas Day and New Year's Day, like you said,
like they did the end of time.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to have seen. I think with that one, because you just felt there was so much going on in that one. It seemed like they were really having to rush to get everything in that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But so I didn't find that with Series 8 at all. So far we've not agreed with either of their downsides. What's the next downside?
Hangovers from the Matt Smith era, like the bow and arrow scene from Robot Sherwood. Lots of people didn't like that, but I didn't really like that.
No, silly that bit.
Silly.
And I'd agree. I'd agree.
A bit cheesy.
It was.
I watched it again the other day. Robot Sherwood.
Yeah. I think that was cheesy. I think.
What I was going to say is the series was originally meant for Matt Smith, so I know why. I think that episode was meant for Matt Smith, so I know why it was in it.
I did feel like we said at the time, I think, when we did the podcast then, that it felt like a Matt Smith type one. It had a slightly different edge to it, I think, because Capaldi was there, but the more light-hearted feel to that episode felt Matt Smith-like, didn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with that one, actually.
No.
But I wouldn't say it's a major problem. It's just that there was a handful of times where, the handful of cheesy bits in it, but no more than normal. In fact, it was probably far less than normal. So I wouldn't say it was a criticism of the series.
Yeah. No.
In fact, it was a plus to the series that there was less cheesiness.
Yeah.
So one which I did think was reminded me of, as you know, I often say that David Tennant's episodes, that the 10th Doctor's a bit foppish. I think I probably say that most weeks. And I watched the one with the Clockwork Robots in it, which is a really good episode. But there were so many cheesy bits in that.
Yeah, there were, but it is a good episode, but there were so many.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of cheesiness in the David Tennant era Doctor episodes. But that's, a lot of people like that.
That was Stephen Moffat, that episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ready to move on?
Yes.
Not enough actual monsters and villains. So looking at Series 8, I can count several villains who battled against the Doctor and were villains of their own. They counted Half-Faced Man, the Daleks, the Sheriff of Nottingham, the Scorvox, Blitzer, the Boneless, Cybermen, and the Master. Monsters such as the Teller and the Mummy were only monsters by circumstance. Yeah, I
don't think there was a problem though.
No.
I thought
it was quite good that there were not as much villains in it.
But I don't think
changed it.
To me, that a lot of the strongest episodes were the ones where they weren't bog standard monsters.
Yeah.
So Listen, for instance, no monster at all in it really. Mummy, a monster, but as they sort of explained in there.
In the Listen episode, you only see if you look, there's a stick insect. It looks a bit gravelly,
I think actually it was a really, really good balance between your standard monster and
Flatline as well. Kind of had a monster.
Yeah,
but kind of.
I think they mentioned that one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I suppose.
But they weren't sort of a bog standard sort of villain.
I know.
I thought I would say that's a strength. Actually,
in the Forest of the Night was, even though that wasn't as good as the others. Well, it's better than Robot Sherwood. Yeah. Into the Dalek didn't kind of had them, but kind of didn't.
Yeah, I'd actually think that was a strength of the series personally. Yeah. But I think in terms looking at it a different way, I think in terms of the difference between it being a children's series as against a series for adults, I can see that issue, because children will often, you don't so much, but children I think quite often want a main villain type thing, something they can physically see as being the bad guy, and perhaps it didn't have that so much.
We've done a long news session, just to say.
Haven't we? Yeah.
But it's been it's been about half an hour, but should we talk the next one? We probably won't have time for a quiz or question. We'll probably do that instead.
Yeah.
Something else instead.
I was I think it's quite an interesting one, really, when you think about what age group is Doctor Who now aimed at?
Yeah, I suppose a bit of both, really.
I think that's the difficult balance they've got. I mean, to put it into a little bit of perspective, when they came out, however many years ago it was now, with the Star Wars films, and then they came back. They did the first 3, and then they came back after quite a big gap, and then did 3 more. And a lot of the people that went to see the original Star Wars films were moaning because they said, oh, it's just like a kids' film, blah, blah, blah. And George Lucas at the time said, yes, it is a kids' film. So with the first ones, I've made another kids' film. And you can see that. But I think it's a difficult balance, because you're going to get the people that grew up with something and want it to be the same as what they grew up with, but following the brain development that they've had, and you're going to want the new kids that are coming in that want to see something which is going to appeal to a kid. So it's a difficult balance to get.
First place is some of the writing.
Okay.
So what do you think on that?
I thought it was probably the strongest series writing-wise that I think we've had.
I know, it just says some of the writing. Yeah. Someone's commented most of the writing, but I only think like some of Robot Sherwood and some of In the Forest of the Night.
I think they're the 2 you pick out, but I didn't even find it. I think In the Forest of the Night had a lot of unfair criticism. Really.
I know.
I thought it was a really nice story. I mean, a lot of people said, but it was scientifically it was inaccurate, but.
It's Doctor Who. It's sci-fi.
It's fiction, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff that happens in sci-fi isn't scientifically accurate. It was just a charming story. I don't think it was meant to be accurate. It was meant to be a fairy tale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Best of 2014 awards, male actor. Is it Peter Ferdinando as the half-faced man, Michael Smiley as Morgan Blue, Nicholas Briggs as Rusty, Tom Riley as Robin Hood, Ben Miller as the Sheriff of Nottingham, Remy Gooding as Rupert Pink, Jonathan Bailey as Psy, Edward Harrison as Adrian, Frank Skinner as Perkins, David Bamber as Captain Quayle, Christopher Fillers as Professor Morehouse, John Sessions as Gus, Jovian Wade as Rigsy, Christopher Fairbank as Fenton, Andrew Leng as Dr. Chang, and Nick Frost as Santa Claus, Nathan McMullen as Wolf, or Michael Troughton as Professor Albert.
It's such a long list. I've forgotten who's at the beginning now. Let me have a quick look on there. Yeah, who am I going to go for? I'm going to go for Frank Skinner, I think, as Perkins. So real strong characters in there. I really like the half-faced.
I know.
Actually, I thought he was brilliant. He was really sinister.
Yeah.
Okay, have we got any more news?
Just looking. Don't know if I did this last time. No, I don't think I did this.
Okay.
Last week we noted on this, but John Hurt has received a knighthood in the Queen's New Year's honours.
And rightly so too.
Yeah. The veteran actor was appointed for his services to drama after his acting career spanning over 5 decades. Of course, most Whovians will know him as the War Doctor. Hurt said, I was so surprised. I had no idea. I hadn't done anything to encourage it. Someone must have been saying very sweet things on my behalf. James Corden, aka Craig Owens in the Universe, and Sheridan Smith, aka Big Finish's Lucy Miller, are also to receive an OBE for services to drama.
What? I can't fathom. I know it's okay. Without meaning to belittle anyone's achievement, but what on earth is James Corden doing getting 9 I can't fathom that at all. I couldn't give it another 20 years, and I think he might merit it, but I can't work out how he can merit it at the moment.
He's really young.
But I'd like you to actually say that, John. Oh, you've lost the page.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
It's gone. Okay, we won't get that. I wanted you to say that John Hurt speech in the John Hurt voice.
No.
But we won't worry about it now.
No. I was just trying to find something. Trying to find our new director. I'll do this in the meantime. Okay. Best MLMA recurring character of 2014. Is it Simon Pegg as the editor of Time, Barry Hu as the lead attack and Cancelan, Andrew Hans as Dave and Back, Matthew Henn as Loch Dash-Amaya, Arthur Darvill as Rory.
Loch Dash, isn't it? Go with Loch Dash. Who would you gone for?
I would have gone for Simon Pegg as the editor of Time.
Okay. How are we doing on this news? I'm conscious we're time's ticking on, isn't it? Have we got much more to go through?
We've got a little more. I'm trying to find the director thing.
Okay.
Something I really want to talk about.
So that's the thing, isn't it? If you think about with us having that effectively a week off last week.
It's the only proper thing I need to talk about.
With the fact that we had that week off last week, or one week off when we did the sort of the countdown of the top 50 stuff. It gave us 2 whole weeks chock-a-block of news, didn't it, really?
And now we don't have much of the show left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Being Human director for Series 9. And so it begins. Series 9's first director appears to have been outed. Daniel O'Hara will helm 2 episodes, according to his online CV. Interestingly, both are listed at 60 minutes long. What do you think of this?
Well, firstly, I would say Being Human is fantastic. So I don't know. I don't really look into who directs it. I just watch the program and think, oh, that was good. But I really love Being Human. So and certainly the last Being Human guy that came and did some stuff, did some really good episodes, didn't he? So yeah. I'm hopeful of that. Very hopeful.
Yeah.
I think actually the standard of directing on Series 8. I mean that wasn't in that last thing, but I think that is worthy to me of having been included within the 5 great things about Series 8.
Yeah.
Would have been the standard of the directing. It was top notch.
We talked about this for 40 minutes. I'm just thinking. We need to get through this quickly. So, best female actor. Zora Ashton as Jenny Blue, Laura Dos Santos as Gretchen, Keely Hawes as Miss Delphox, Pippa Bennett-Warner as Saber, Hermione Norris as Lundvik, Daisy Bemnott as Maisie, Holly Bird as Ruby, Abigail Ames as Mabe, Faye Marseille as Shauna, Maureen Beattie as Bellows, or Natalie Grimwood as Ashley.
I would go for Jenny Blue. What about you? Blue.
I think I might go for Hermione Norris because I quite liked her. As Lundvik.
Cool. So, any more Who news?
Yeah.
First of all,
we've got. I think we've got 2 more bits.
Okay.
First of all, best monster of MLMA.
Ooh.
So, the Krillitanes, Mr. Ivan, Mr. Sin, Gravanta / Grill, Sea Devils, Silurians, Ice Warriors, Cybermen, Daleks, Qua, Hydrocorians, or Korgata.
Ooh. Cast my mind back to all these Mr. Lewis Moon adventures. Which is the one that stands out? I would have to go for the Hydrocorians, I think. They're your own little invention, aren't they, really?
Yeah, they are. I made them up.
So it's good to see them. So.
Okay, and finally,
we're only halfway through the show.
Pardon?
We're only halfway through the show.
Best of 2014 awards. Best villain. The Half-Faced Man, the Sheriff of Nottingham, Miss Dale Fox, Gus, Seb, or Missy the Master.
It's a toss-up for me between the Half-Faced Man and Missy, but I think I would just go for Missy.
I like all of them, in my opinion.
Seb would have been really close as well, apart from that horrible squee moment.
Oh, yeah, squee. I hate that bit.
Yeah, but aside from that bit, he was fantastic, wasn't he?
I know. In Dark Water, he was great, but I think in Death and Heaven, he wasn't as good.
No, that's right. In fact, he was one of the strongest moments of Dark Water, wasn't he? He was foul.
I liked that bit when he said, there's been a little bit of an upgrade in the beginning of Death and Heaven.
Yeah.
Should we load up?
Yeah, so what we're going to do, the show notes?
Yes.
The show notes. Do you know what you're doing on my new swanky device?
Yes, I do know what you're doing on your new swanky device. What's happened?
I do know what I'm doing on your new swanky device. What's happened? Right,
That's
okay.
not the right one.
Is that not what we want?
No.
Okay, all right. I don't know what I'm doing on my new swanky device either. So let's see. Oh, I'm just thinking, did we invite ourselves to it? Maybe we didn't.
Oh no.
Maybe we didn't. Well, that's fine. We can do it another way instead. We can do it on my phone. Bear with me. So we're looking for, what's the next item called?
Pivotal Who. That's the name of the show.
Okay.
Pivotal Who. That's the name of the show. Pivotal Who. That's the name of the show.
Okay.
Pivotal Who. What's the name of the show? Pivotal Who. That's the name of the show. But what's the name of the show? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Pivotal Who. What does it mean?
So.
What does it mean? What does it mean? Daddy cool.
So this is the moment of the show. No, leave it there. That's fine.
Okay.
This is the moment of the show where we look at each of the doctors in terms of the 1 to 12. We're going to ignore the War Doctor, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw as being their pivotal episode, and then also where we think it's a slightly different one, which is our favourite episode. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Now, for the first Doctor, it's the most pivotal and the best in our opinion, and it's an unearthly child. I think, in my opinion, the first episode of An Unearthly Child is great. It's just episodes 2 to 4 aren't as good.
No, I mean I think probably it's fair to say with the William Hartnell ones, we've not seen as much of his episodes as we have with some of the others. You've seen a lot more.
I've seen An Unearthly Child, the Daleks, a bit of Edge of Destruction, the Sensorites, 10th Planet, a bit of Daleks Master Plan, some bits that aren't missing. And I think there might be one more that I'm missing.
What do you think then? What is it about An Unearthly Child that makes it such a pivotal episode?
It's the first ever episode of Doctor Who.
That probably sums it up really, doesn't it? What more can you say than that?
I don't know.
I mean, it would have been really... I guess the difficult thing when you sit back and you look back on these episodes 50 years later, or 52 years later now.
Yeah.
51 and a bit years later.
Yeah, 52 almost.
You look at it and you think, well, what impact did it have? And it's difficult to appreciate quite what a big impact it had, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the second one, shall we?
So we think the second one, for the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, is the most pivotal. We think is the invasion. But what one do we think is the best?
My personal favourite.
Yeah.
And I actually really like the second Doctor. He's one of my favourites. War Games.
Yeah. So first of all, the most pivotal, the invasion. It's a very good episode, and what makes it pivotal, what makes it important, is probably the most famous scene in Doctor Who, in my opinion.
I think he's certainly probably right there.
When the Cybermen march down St Paul's Cathedral.
Yeah.
I think that is the most famous scene of Doctor Who. When you think of a scene, you think of that one. I've got a mug of it.
Yeah, it's one of the most effective views, isn't it? That whole thing of St Paul's Cathedral with the Cybermen coming down the steps. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And I think it's
coming out of the drain.
I think it's that view. I think is what is the reason we've chosen the invasion. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the episode. You have, haven't you?
It's an 8-parter. 2 parts are animated.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
1 and 4, I think, are animated. Luckily, not the part when they march down the steps.
Yeah. What is it? Do you think about the invasion? What else do you like about it?
I don't know. Is
it the first? Because Patrick Troughton met them a few times, didn't he?
Yeah, he met them 4 times. That was the last time they met, the Cybermen and the second Doctor. First episode that Unit's grouped up. First episode you hear about Unit. Not the first episode with the Brigadier. That's Web of Fear. But
so I'm testing you here on your knowledge because I don't know. So the Web of Fear was after the invasion, was it?
Web of Fear was before the invasion.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Web of Fear was the first with the Brigadier, but the invasion was the first with the Unit.
Oh, right. So it's funny because I didn't really pick up on that because we watched Web of Fear, so we didn't really introduce him as being in Unit.
He was a colonel, I think, in the first episode.
Right. Okay. I think because of the fact that I knew he was in Unit, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together, so I just assumed it was a Unit thing.
No.
So that's interesting. Okay.
The best
what about
is
War
the
Games?
War Games. It's the last ever episode with Patrick Troughton as the Doctor and Jamie and Zoe as well as the companions.
It gives us the Great Regeneration.
No. Gives you the first time the Time Lords are ever in Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a pivotal episode as well.
Yeah, we did when we were putting this together. We did. A little bit over this one, didn't we? There was some which the answers jumped out. And
I thought that we both thought the War Games at the beginning, but then we looked. Then we thought, how about a Cyberman episode? And then we thought the invasion.
Yeah.
Luckily, my book came in the rescue.
It did.
Yes.
War Game. I really enjoyed that. It took quite a long time to get through it.
It's 10 parts. But
it was good. The values were good in it. The concept was good.
Yeah.
Favourite episode? Let's say there's a lot of really good Patrick Troughton ones.
Third Doctor, Spearhead from Space. Now, there are several reasons why it's the most pivotal of Doctor Who's, of the Third Doctor's era.
And are you going to explain why, sir?
Yeah. First episode with the Third Doctor. First episode with Liz. First episode with the Autons. First episode in colour. And more.
It's interesting.
First episode in VHS videotape, I think.
Because I was actually putting an argument forward at the time, wasn't I? That I thought it should be Terror of the Autons because it was the first one with the Master in it.
And Joe, but I think that one.
But then, as soon as you said it was the first one in colour, I think that was the point when you sold it to me. I think.
Yeah.
Favourite episode.
In my opinion, is Inferno.
And I didn't really comment on that, did I? Because I've not with a lot of the classic episodes, I did watch a lot of them when I was little, but I don't really remember them. I don't remember Inferno. I may have watched it, I may not. I certainly haven't seen it since.
Wait a minute.
So
what do you think of the title?
Inferno? Title of Inferno. It's a really good title, I think. Is Inferno the one Is that the alternate universe?
Yeah, the
one?
one with the alternate universe. It's Nicholas Courtney's favourite episode ever.
Is it? Yeah, right, okay. Should we move on to the fourth?
Yeah.
So, I tell you, we struggled on this one, didn't we? Because
Yeah.
there are so many classic Tom Baker episodes.
No.
What can you say is the pivotal one?
I'd say Genesis of the Daleks, because it's the first. It's Davros's first story, and it tells you how the Daleks are born.
Yeah.
So it has to be that. There are lots of Dalek pivotal stories, but it has to be that.
Do you think? We've seen a lot of really great Dalek stories, and maybe actually that it's probably a discussion worthy of an episode in itself. But do you think Genesis of the Daleks is the Dalek story?
Yeah, the most pivotal, I think, because there's no other ones with Daleks in that are on the list.
Yeah, I think it's
most pivotal.
I think it's probably the best Dalek story as well.
Yeah, one of them definitely.
But is it the best Tom Baker story?
No. What is though?
I would say, personally,
maybe me as well.
Talons of Wang Chiang.
Yes, good episode, great episode.
Yeah, I think really love the character. It's got Leela in it.
Yeah.
So in itself, that's
I watched it again recently for a third time.
Did you?
Yeah.
A third time? You've watched it 3 times for now.
3 times, yeah.
It's also got what are the two guys called?
Jacob and Lightfoot.
Jacob and Lightfoot, yeah, got them in it, haven't they?
They've got an audio adventure now.
Yeah.
10 series or something.
10 series comes.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to listen to, wouldn't it?
I know.
It's got the Doctor looks a little bit like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, he does.
I prefer Leela when she's dressed as a wild girl. But,
yeah.
No, I love Talons of Wang Chiang. It's probably my favourite Tom Baker episode. What about onto the Fifth Doctor?
We think the most pivotal is Earthshock.
Yeah, this is one we talked about this for quite some time, didn't we? When we were making our decision as to what was his pivotal. There was no one that really jumped out, was there?
No.
Like, there was some of them and said, "This is the most important episode." Why would you say Earthshock?
I forgot what we said. I
think because it had iconic monsters in it in terms of being.
It was Adric's last episode.
And I think that's probably the other thing. It was pivotal insofar as it was a very rare death, wasn't it? It's not very often that a companion dies.
It was like the only like proper death, because if you think of it, Amy and Rory didn't actually die. Sarah Kingdom or whoever it is didn't really die. She got time aged, but she wasn't really a companion, so I'm not going to count her. But yeah, it's the only really death of a companion.
Yeah, I guess things happen.
Harry didn't die really.
Things happened to Rose, didn't they? They happened to Donna, but they weren't really death, were they?
No, they weren't death.
I think like you say, even with Amy and Rory, it's not a death as such. They died in the current time, but they had a full life.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, I thought that was a really clever, lovely story. What about your favourite?
5 Doctors.
Yeah.
Good episode. We almost said that's the most pivotal, but then we thought it's not just the 5th Doctor in it. And it's not actually a proper episode.
Yeah. So we thought it was probably a bit unfair on Peter Davison, really, didn't we, to deem it to be his pivotal one. Okay, what about the 6th one, Colin Baker?
Trial of Time Lord. Yeah. I think both the pivotal and best. I just like the ultimate foe, which is the final segment. Yeah. I just like that episode.
Yeah. It's a funny one, really, because in some respects you look at that and you think, well, that's a bit of a cheat, don't you? Because you think, well, why don't you just say a whole series is the most pivotal episode?
Yeah, it is. It was a whole series, though. It was on 1 year, 14 episodes.
So, if you were to actually strip that apart into individual episodes, and what was the one you mentioned just a minute ago?
The Ultimate Foe.
Would you say the Ultimate Foe is the pivotal episode? of Conan Baker as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, okay.
I'd probably say that.
And you'd also say it's the best one. Obviously, I'd say the Two Doctors. I like that one. But,
So 7th Doctor.
okay.
Will we have time to do our New Year's resolutions? Should we put a bit of a longer show?
Yeah, if we as long as we finish about past. Then
Yeah,
we'll be about right,
we'll finish about 30:30.
Okay, we'll see how we're doing on it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll the 7th one. We chose survival.
Because it's the last episode of New Who.
Yeah. It's also, I think, a lot of people say that Sylvester McCoy's last series was a classic series.
It was quite a classic series if you think of it. The last 2 episodes, definitely, Curtis Fenrick and Survival, they were great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think the thing was, wasn't it? If you going back to that conversation we had earlier on about what age group were they aiming at, I think of all the Doctors, Sylvester McCoy's Doctor, they've really, really dumbed down in terms of the age group. In terms of the first 2 series, I think they saw it as being the sort of thing that could be on. It could have been on. Could have been on CBBC, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, the last series, I don't think.
No, I don't think the last one.
And Remembrance of the Daleks could be on them.
But
neither could Silver Nemesis.
No, I think they probably could, but they were good stories still.
Yeah, Silver Nemesis, I think, and Remembrance of the Daleks were good stories.
But I do think they dumbed it down.
So Curse of Fenric is our favourite, my favourite.
I can't remember it, so
yeah.
I must get around to watching that one.
You can borrow it, or it's on Netflix, I think.
If you were to recommend any old episode that I haven't watched that I should watch on Fenric, I can't talk, on Netflix, what would it be? Would it be that one?
I'm just going to say I've recorded Carnival of Monsters because I never had time to watch that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's on Netflix, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd recommend Curse of Fenric probably.
Yeah.
And maybe Ark in Space because.
Okay.
Wait, is Spearhead from Space on there?
Can't remember if it is or not.
Yeah, Spearhead from. There's a lot of good ones on there. So is Case of Androzani on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one probably. Yeah, Case of Androzani.
Pivotal 8. Paul McGann.
The movie.
So much to choose from.
I think the movie is the most pivotal, but not the best.
Yeah. What's the best?
Night of the Doctor.
I mean, it's probably not too much point dwelling too much on it because of the fact you've only really got the 2 stories, haven't you? So.
Yeah.
9th.
9th, Rose is the most pivotal because it's the first episode of New Who, which was almost 10 years ago. This March, the 26th. It'll be 10 years, and over this year, we'll have lots of special features to do with that.
Wowza. It's nearly as old as you.
I know.
Crumbs.
I'm older than it.
Very slightly, but you wouldn't have remembered it, would you?
No.
What was your favourite 9th?
Aliens of London, in my opinion, because I find that a really good story, but I find the sequel, Boomtown, not as good.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because that's your favourite one in that series, and Boomtown's probably your least favourite.
Yeah, I know, it's funny.
Yeah, I think my favourite would probably be The Empty Child.
I know, that comes definite second, close second.
Yeah. Although I've said on a number of occasions that Christopher Eccleston's Doctor is one of my least favourite Doctors, I actually really like a lot of the stories in it.
Yeah,
because I really like the what's the one, Father's Day.
Yeah,
really
I like that
really
one as well. 3rd.
Yeah.
4th, Bad Wolf and Cutting of the Waste.
When we were plotting out on our bit of paper the pivotal episodes, when we got to the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, we really struggled, didn't we, in terms of trying to think what was the pivotal one, because there were so many episodes on there. But I don't think although there were so many episodes, none of them really punched you in the face and told you that they were the pivotal one.
So we thought the most pivotal was Utopia, because it saw the return of the Master.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's got some funny bits in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got some good bits.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Have you watched that one?
I'm trying to think now. I don't think actually. I think the one I'm talking about is a different episode.
Yeah.
What's the one I'm thinking? I'm thinking about the one with the master with the clapping.
That's End of Time.
That's End of Time. Right. Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen you take it. But it's probably, if it brings back the master, then it's quite important. The same right.
My favourite episode was Family of Blood, but you think Blink. But
yeah,
it's my favourite because it's the first ever Doctor Who episode I actually properly watched.
I think it's probably my second favourite David Tennant one.
Blink is my second favourite.
Yeah. And then if I was my third favourite, probably Midnight.
Yeah, Midnight.
What about Pivotal 11th, Matt Smith?
Oh, Name of the Doctor is the most pivotal, we think.
Mm-hmm. Because
it goes through all of the years of the Doctor.
Yeah, and I think it started to really wrap up the story certainly with Clara, didn't it, and with Matt's Doctor. I think you learned a lot about it. It brought the whole Trenzalore stuff to a head, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it obviously had the great intelligence in it. It had some really great villains in the Whisper Men. Pivotal moment.
Favourite is probably Day of the Doctor. We can't say that's the most pivotal, like the 5 Doctors, because it's not just the 11th Doctor.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair on Matt.
Do you think that Day of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary, is the best Doctor Who episode ever?
I don't know.
I think it's probably mine. However much I liked the last series, it was such a good episode.
I can't choose. I can't. Yeah. I mean, probably that one because it was such a good experience.
Yeah.
Such a good episode. Finally,
we're on to the 12th.
Most pivotal we thought was Death in Heaven of Series 8.
Yeah.
So.
Why did we think that?
Was it because it kind of told you why, if the Doctor was a good man?
It did. All the way through the series, we've been trying to work out whether he was a good man or a bad man. And by that time, we decided he was good, didn't we?
Yeah.
But whilst we thought it was the pivotal episode, we thought the best episode was probably the one that preceded it.
Dark Water.
Yeah. Because it was blooming good, wasn't it?
Blooming lovely.
It was blooming good. So that wraps up our pivotal.
Should we quickly press the randomizer?
I think we should. Yeah, I think what is worth saying is that with your podcast, there's always the opportunity for people to be able to leave comments on the bottom, and I think it would be really good if anyone that was listening actually left some comments as to what they agreed and didn't agree with in terms of our pivotal decisions.
If you have any suggestions for sections on the show, then comment that as well.
Yeah. In fact, just comment anything. If you want to comment
about what you want to.
If you can probably hear all the rustling around of tea being made in the background. If you want to comment on what we're having for tea, feel free to do so. We're quite happy to debate that. So the randomizer. Does the randomizer still work? You got to press that button there first of all to get to enable.
So it's the first randomizer of 2015.
Ooh. Okay.
Enable,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is it going to be? What is the first randomizer of 2015?
So, as a quick reminder to everyone, with the randomizer, we've got every episode ever programmed into a database. We press a little button, it comes up with a random episode.
It's been a month since we did it, by the way.
It is, yeah. That episode is the one that we watch and we'll talk about next week. So, press the button.
Oh no, let's not watch that one. Planet of the Ood.
Planet of the Ood. So
originally it popped up Christmas Invasion, but I only watched that about a month ago.
Yeah. And it's not Christmas now.
And it's not Christmas now.
Next time that comes
it was very Christmassy, that one.
Yeah. Maybe.
I was hoping it would have a Christmas episode would have come up at Christmas.
Yeah. But it didn't.
No.
So Planet of the Ood, we'll go and watch that one then, yeah?
Yeah, Planet of the Ood.
So just remind me, that's a David Tennant one?
David Tennant episode.
Okay.
And it's the
probably a bit foppish.
second one with the Ood.
Probably a bit foppish, but
Just
actually, I think I've
remind
seen
you.
that one before. I remember that one, and
It's a good one.
It's enjoyable. So we'll look forward for that, and we'll watch that next Saturday, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yes.
So how are we doing? We've got about
10 minutes.
10 more minutes.
Okay, so New Year's resolutions for Doctor Who. What do you think should be included in 2015 for Doctor Who?
Okay, we've set ourselves a
Series
number.
9.
We've set ourselves a number of categories here, haven't we?
Yeah.
So should we run through them one by one?
Yeah. Writers first.
Well, Moffat's got to write a few, hasn't he? The best ones are still Moffat's, aren't they?
Yeah. I think maybe what they're going to do for the 10th anniversary, maybe Russell T Davies would write one.
That might be nice, actually.
That
yeah.
would be quite good.
That would be a nice suggestion.
Just had a suggestion.
Yeah.
But Jamie Matheson should return.
Yeah,
Probably Mark Gatiss is going to write another one.
I think so,
Because
yeah.
he always writes one.
Yeah.
And probably Gareth Roberts will write one.
Yeah. What about directors?
Directors, Daniel O'Hara, we know.
There's been talk,
writers,
isn't there?
back to writers,
Yeah.
Catherine Tagana.
Okay.
But directors,
Back to directors, I think Peter Jackson's been rumoured, hasn't
Peter
he?
Jackson's
And
been
that would be
rumoured.
interesting to see what he'd do with it.
Daniel
It'd probably be big.
O'Hara's doing it as well. Yeah, probably the final if he's directing one.
Be interesting, wouldn't it? See how Peter Jackson would get on with a small budget these days, having been used to huge budgets of late with the Hobbit films, etc.
Yes.
Cliffhangers.
Cliffhangers.
I think the cliffhanger we want to see is Peter Capaldi hanging off a cliff by an umbrella.
No, it's been rumoured that there is actually an episode, Dragonfire, when Sylvester McCoy's leaning up an umbrella in the cliffhanger.
Best cliffhanger ever.
Best cliffhanger ever.
What would you want to see?
There was Stephen Moffat has said that there's going to be a massive cliffhanger for the penultimate episode of Series 9. So maybe the return of Gallifrey or another Time Lord, which we know very well.
I'd agree with you. I think it's going to be
Gallifrey. The story arc's going to lead up to that, isn't it? I think that's going to be the story arc. Whatever the shock is, it's going to be something to do with that.
I think either something related to Gallifrey or something related to Clara.
Yeah, maybe Clara's death at the end of the cliffhanger.
Maybe.
But maybe Clara turns out to be a Time Lord.
She could turn out to be Poir.
Poir!
Yeah. What about in terms of new companions?
Do you think there will be another new companion to join Clara?
I think we might see. Like last time we had a semi-companion in terms of in terms I've forgotten his name already.
Danny Pink.
Danny Pink. Yeah. Previously we had Rory as a semi-companion. I think this time we might see Shona or Shauna, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we might see her. Yeah. We might also. Yeah. We might also find out. How about Clara's baby turns out to be the new companion?
Yes, Clara's baby. I wondered why one of our executive producers was doing the shape of a baby.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a chicken.
I thought maybe it meant dinner was ready. What about episodes? What do you want to see?
Episodes. I don't know. I want to see some Gallifrey episodes.
Yeah.
Ones with Missy in.
Do you want to see them dark still? Or do you want?
Yeah, I want to see some dark, definitely some. But I think if Mark Gatiss is writing one, that one's going to be light again. But not about history, I don't think.
I think also, what's the guy that wrote The Caretaker? He tend to be a bit lighter.
Gareth Roberts.
Yeah, his tend to be a bit lighter. I think if they're ones around Gallifrey, they might be a bit lighter, I would suggest. but I think there will be some darkness.
Well, what if it's the Time War? If it's the Time War, if the
Yeah.
Time War's if the time was time locked at the moment, then it might become unloose in the penultimate cliffhanger.
What about villains? Who do you want to see come back?
I want to see Davros come back. Omega come back.
We want Omega,
The
don't we?
Rani maybe as that person who's doing it in the audio adventures.
I want to see. Of all of those, Davros and Omega, I tend to agree. I think the Rani. A lot of people talk about the Rani, but in the end, she's not that brilliant.
And B, I don't think. Also, there would be another bad reason that it'd be a bit sad to have her in it.
Yeah.
Because she's dead now.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And lastly, the format. What would you want to see?
Format. I want to see 13 episodes.
You want it?
Last time it was 12, but I think 13 this time. Because of the penultimate cliffhanger. Maybe including the Christmas episode, I don't know.
I want to see a few more two-parters.
Yeah, I think the last one will definitely be a two-parter if it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Keep going on about that, don't I?
I like the two-parters. I think it's always good because it leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
And probably, unless you've got anything else to add,
No, I don't.
as a Who Year's resolution, I think that probably wraps the show up, doesn't it?
So get the new issue of Dawn, and next week we'll be focusing on one question, which is, why is Blink such a global phenomenon? We will be looking at how we feel on why Blink is so popular in fans' eyes.
Okay, we'll also be talking about Planet of the Ood.
Yes.
We'll be talking news, and we'll be pressing the randomizer again.
We'll also probably have our second Q&A with Jenna Coleman and Stara, the figure adventure version.
Okay, good. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for listening. Hope we haven't talked too much or too long.
Bye, cliffhanger.